Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, in Council Chambers, Sparta Township Municipal Building, 65 Main Street, Sparta, New Jersey. The time is 7:15. The regular meeting is now open. All council meetings are now live streamed and can be viewed at the following link: www.youtube.com/SpartaTWP/streams. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and press on January 10th, 2025, by delivering to the press and posting on the township website a copy of the notice. Madam Clerk, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilman Scott.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Murphy.
Here.
Mayor Clark.
Here. All right, may we stand and salute the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out on this sweltering August day. We have no minutes tonight, so we'll move right into the manager's report. So, Manager Zepp, may we have your report, please?
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and Sparta residents, both here in person and joining us online. Sparta Township Water Utility Department would like to remind all public water users that the odd-even lawn watering schedule remains in effect. Due to recent drought conditions, these restrictions are more important than ever to help maintain adequate levels of drinking water throughout the community. For full details and updates, please visit the water restrictions page under the water utilities section on the township website. Thank you for your continued cooperation. Our Public Works Department is actively working on the water line replacement project along West Shore Trail. Since beginning the work on Monday, the team has successfully installed 260 feet of an estimated 1,200 feet of new piping required. Progress continues steadily despite occasional challenges such as encountering rock ledge formations. The crew is aiming to install approximately 80 feet of pipe per day, and so far they are on track. This is a substantial undertaking by our DPW team and represents a significant cost savings for taxpayers compared to hiring an outside contractor. We appreciate your patience and support as this important infrastructure improvement moves forward. The Fall Recreation Brochure is now available on the Township website, featuring a wide range of seasonal programs, sports, and special events. Registration for Sparta residents begins tomorrow, Wednesday, August 13th, and opens to non-residents on Wednesday, August 20th. New offerings this season include literacy workshops, flag football, sound bath meditation, along with a special Haunted Ghost Walk event exclusively for Sparta residents. To explore all available programs, visit spartanj.org, Parks and Recreation Department, and select recreation brochure. Our Parks Department are working diligently to prepare all fields for football, soccer, and fall baseball, softball, as well as getting ready for upcoming fall special events. The paving project at Station Park has been completed, and parking space pavement markings will follow shortly. In our Senior Citizen Division, Sparta seniors are actively training for the Tri-County Senior Olympics, scheduled for September 17th in Pequannock. Seniors interested in participating should contact the Recreation Office and ask for Emily, our senior coordinator. Please note, the senior pool at Knoll Heights will close after Labor Day weekend for those who purchased summer badges or enrolled in water exercise classes. For our entertainment, this Friday, August 15th, and every Friday up to and including August 29th, the Cultural Affairs Committee hosts the Township's free summer concert series at Dykstra Park, starting at 7 o'clock. In case of rain, the concert will move indoors to Mohawk Ave School. The lineup includes August 15th, Southpaw, August 22nd, Peter Karp, August 29th, Skylar Burrell. For concert schedule, please visit spartaarts.org. Check the Township calendar or visit the Cultural Affairs Committee webpage. You can also sign up for rave alerts to stay informed. At this time, I will turn it over to Chief McCarrick for his report. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manager Zepp. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. This past week, we hosted our annual Junior Police Academy, and we had an all-time high of 77 recruits that graduated. It's quite an experience for both the recruits and our officers who participated. I'd like to thank publicly the individuals that helped us out and provided instruction, demonstrations. New Jersey State Police Teams Unit, their polygraph unit, their aviation unit, who actually even showed up with their helicopter on graduation day. Their bomb squad, Maywood K-9 officer came out, did a nice demonstration. Netcon Police Motorcycle Unit. Morris County Sheriff James Gannon, he was allowed us to go to the Sheriff's Department there and tour the police academy where recruits are actually actively in there for a real police training class. Their communication center, their youth detention center, and their Morris County Jail and OEM, Office of Emergency Management Center. The Center for Prevention and Counseling came out, did some instruction. Our Sparta Volunteer Ambulance Squad and Volunteer Fire Department always help us out. Superintendent Mac Beck with the Board of Ed and the Mohawk Ave school staff. Parks and Rec for helping us out with things that we need for the graduation. Let's see, obviously, our mayor and council and our manager for your support for this program, and many sponsors. We had 3 recruits, recruits that had graduated and came back as junior instructors to assist with the daily operations. Anthony Reyes, Jake Dinger, and Zach Eller. And obviously, thank you to the parents, our officers, and obviously all the recruits who went through the program. It was a great week for everybody. There's an upcoming free e-bike training for teens on Thursday, August 21st from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. and then another 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. This is a virtual training that's being facilitated by an individual who's part of who's a program manager for cycling. These students will learn the skills needed for safe and responsible biking skills, which will carry on to safe driving. So the content includes understanding e-bike features and safety systems, battery care and charging for best practices, pre-ride check and basic maintenance, proper helmet fitting and safety gear, traffic rules and regulations, understanding lines, signs, and signals, safe navigating of roads and bike paths, understanding how crashes happen and how to avoid them, and speed management and stopping distance. You can find this information on how to register. We have it posted on our social media, and if you don't have our social media, we will put it on the website, or you could email Paul, Paul, mick@njbwc.org. Last thing I have, with students returning to school in just over 2 weeks, we would like to put out a reminder to be cognizant of children walking to and from bus stops within our community. Patrols will be in these areas during school, bus times, pickup and departures, and will enforce traffic violations as always. Additionally, our officers have been meeting with all schools in Sparta Township for both public and private schools to update each other on the multitude of areas to help keep our children and our school staff safe. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great,
Thank you.
thank you.
You have a question?
Yes, I do. I have to tell you that watching that program the other day and the graduation from the Junior Police Academy was really, really moving. And to see the kids that they were just so thrilled to be up there that they said on the side after you all left and they're walking off the stage, boy, that was really hard. It was hard, but they were each beaming and so proud marching off the stage. And the young man that you picked to speak was amazing for his age. It was overwhelming to see them and how they, with 72, you said 77?
77.
77. That is amazing. I didn't know that they were going to be that young, to be honest. I didn't.
Yeah, 4th through 8th grade we have. So you have a lot of younger ones in there, but.
It made quite an impression on them. You could see them. You could see it on their face, on their demeanor, and the way they walked and spoke. It was really.
They enjoyed marching on the boardwalk. They really did. They had a good time.
No, it was great. And the helicopter and going to see, and I think to get to see the actual classes and going to Morristown really made quite an impression. They ever had thoughts of doing anything wrong, I think that cured them.
So there is an age cap on that because Deputy Mayor Murphy suggested that I enroll.
We'll have to start a adult.
A senior division.
Adult junior.
Senior Police
Thank you.
Academy.
Oh,
Thank you.
but thank you. And I had a question, the e-bikes
Yes.
and the people that are riding e-bikes and the scooters up and down the streets, scooters are okay or not?
So it depends. There's a lot of different types of scooters. We have a lot of information on our website and on our social media on the rules of operation. And if you're riding just like a bicycle, it's the same. You have to abide by all the rules of the roadway, the right-of-ways and everything. And I think that this came out to us today, this training, and we wanted to post it because we're seeing more and more e-bikes out there. And, you know, it's an hour and a half. You know, I'm probably going to have my children just go on and listen so they know they're not getting an e-bike. But just so they know, like there's certain things that come along with having that responsibility.
But I'm seeing a lot more kids on scooters.
Yep, you are seeing
Without
them out there.
helmets.
They should be on helmets.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I was concerned about that. But I also wanted to mention that your daughter who sang, her voice is unbelievable.
Thank you.
She is tremendous.
Appreciate it.
Tremendous. I got goosebumps.
Thank you.
That's the second time I've seen her sing, and it's beautiful. Don't let her stop.
Thanks.
And one other thing I just want to make sure that because the Lake Mohawk, we get emails about West Shore Trail, and I just want to make sure everybody knew that it's on the website as well, the daily updates and the closures.
Right. They are. We actually really push for proper notification because we also do through rave alerts, the social media sites, the police will also assist on stuff like that. And so far, it's been working out pretty well because I've asked about traffic and notification, and the residents have been very patient because they understand the project. Ultimately, it's improving the roadway and the purpose that it serves. So, and the weather doesn't hurt either. So.
No. I've forgotten a few times and have to turn around, but we have a good laugh when I get there.
Well, hopefully,
But-
if it all goes smoothly, it'll be.
Oh, yes.
And sooner than later then.
Yes, and I just wanted to say something about Dykstra Park, because there's been a lot of, do you know who that's named after? I'm sure you do, but,
The Nicholson stage?
no, Dykstra Park.
Right.
Dykstra Park is named after George Dykstra, who was an ex-mayor years and years ago. Uncle Ged, as we all knew him as kids, and he also owned a dry cleaner down right up by Ungerman Field. And there's none of them living in Sparta anymore, unfortunately, but that's who that's named after.
No,
And his
thank you.
picture's downstairs on the wall.
Thanks.
So, and up there, probably. But that's the Dykstra. No relation to. Yeah, there you go. So thank you.
Sure.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Jim, with respect to the water main improvements on West Shore, do you know if people's water supply or water pressure is affected by that in any way, or?
Not at this time as they're installing, because this is an alternate pipe to an existing pipe.
Okay.
So right now, they haven't impeded the regular water flow. There will be a period when they do the changeover to the new pipe where there'll be some interruption, and we'll have full notification
Okay.
out to the residents so they're aware of that. But while they're installing it now, there isn't
Okay.
any interruption.
Got you. So at the time when they actually install the new one, there may be some interruption, but we'll notify folks
Yes.
about it so they can plan accordingly. And
Correct.
hopefully it won't be a significant interruption to their water supply or water pressure.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Fantastic. Anyone else with
Yes,
questions?
Jim, can we push that water restriction memo out to the public?
Sure, we actually have. There was, we had you guys may have seen it, we had a mandated restriction at the Sussex Mills area because the tank levels were critical, and we had blasted out through a rave alert, and it was on the website. In fact, it's still on the website because it expires tomorrow, that restriction, which was a mandated restriction, and we can blast that out. The website, though, is not as strong as it used to be because we have all the social media outlets now with the social media apps and sites. PD helps a lot with that. And then we have the rave alert system, which we always encourage all the residents to sign up for and check the boxes of the categories that you feel would be most interesting for you, like water restrictions.
Yeah, I was not aware.
And neither multiple of my neighbors.
Yeah. It's public service. We try our best to get the word out. People should know that. And just recently, because of the drought, we really see it in the tank levels, the water levels that are monitored 24/7.
Okay, I will.
So I just gave a notice out there too, so for our audience
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I probably did, whether I was aware of it, but just for those participating at home, there is a water restriction. So,
Look on the
please,
website.
please abide by it. I think it's very important that, we do live in a community, and that we all are sort of interdependent and responsible for one another. And one of the ways that we display that is obeying these restrictions. It's not because we want you to have a brown yard. It's because if you violate that and other people do it too, that affects our water supply. So we hope that people will abide by that. And don't worry about it. You'll have a brown yard and so will your neighbor. So it's okay. It's better than running out of water or significantly diminishing our water supply. So again, we are under a water restriction. Please abide by the restriction. And if you don't know what that is, you go on the website or you can, ask us and we'll
Odd evening watering, it's fundamental. I'm sure many folks, your address or your PO box, whatever number it is, the odd even days. If you have an odd number house, you can water on odd number days. Even number house on even number days. So it would alternate. It's actually a better watering practice anyway. So
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the manager's report?
I'll make a motion to approve the managers and
May I have
police
a,
chief's report.
may I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The manager's report is approved. We are now at our very first public comment session. This is for items that are not on the agenda. So if you see an item on the agenda that you want to talk about, now is not the time. Now is the time to talk about items that are not on the agenda. And please be mindful of our 5-minute limit. So if you have any public comment, please do so.
Benny Derrick's Tap into Sparta. Oops, sorry, Tap into Sparta. I missed most of your report, but just came in on the tail end. You're always able to send me, and sometimes the different departments do send me their their releases, their information sheets, instead of just relying on the rave or the website. You can send it to me, and I always publish them. So, and many of the department heads make use of that. Where are we with the brownfield?
got our permit.
Okay. What permit is that?
This is a general GP5 permit allowing us to fill in the wetlands that we've been waiting 23 years for. However, it comes with a bunch of conditions, and I'm working on getting those conditions met. One of them is the parcel transfer that enables us to get this, that you're familiar with. We have to formally process the parcel transfer, and the DEP is very difficult to communicate with in getting that transaction done, and that's just one of the conditions. A bunch of the other ones are mapping the plan and fulfilling the landfill closure plan that we have. And the leasee, CEP Renewables, who was awarded the solar field award, a lot of the onus is on them to perform this. So I'm working with them to meet the criteria of the conditions of their permit, which would then allow us to fill it in. But I consider this the biggest hurdle. Like I said, we've waited for this for years and years,
Yep.
and it didn't cost us $1 million.
I'm going to get your picture doing that. Okay, so CEP has the responsibility so the township has to deal with the land transfers, is that correct?
Correct.
And anything else, mapping and executing the plan, that's on CEP?
As it's termed out in our lease agreement, yes.
Okay. Well, that's good news.
It is. It's excellent news. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to report that the landfill is officially closed
Okay.
soon enough.
And so once it's closed, that's when we can begin the installation of the solar? Or do we have to get the brownfield? Does that give us brownfield status? What is the?
They could apply for it, and they
Okay.
should get it. Then I can't.
Once it's closed, they can
promise you,
apply.
right?
Okay.
Because there was a lot of conditions that were contingent on a closed landfill that we were being denied. Brownfield status, I believe, is one of them. CEP will also be presenting to the planning board their proposal for the solar field layout.
Okay,
So there is still a bunch of work that needs to be done ahead of time, but again, the hardest part is over.
okay. So the CEP also has to, so they have to execute some of the conditions. The township has some of the conditions. At that point, once the landfill is closed, then we can apply for brownfield status for that parcel. And that's needed so that we can have access to the SREC market, or can we get into the SRECs without the brownfield?
You're all over this, Jane.
We're working on it
As
for
I
years.
understand the lease itself, all right, the township will not benefit from SRECs. The leasee will.
Right,
They're the ones putting the solar panels on, and technically, the township won't be a part of that solar program, other than possible community solar that they're also applying for.
okay,
All right? What the township will benefit from is they will be collecting a lease for the site on the landfill.
okay. I'm just envisioning that the lease really isn't worth much to CEP if they don't have the solar.
Correct.
Okay. And so how much are they locked in to the lease program? How much of are they required to follow through on the lease regardless of whether or not they get brownfield status and the SREC market?
Yes,
And utility
yes.
approval and all of that?
Yes.
Okay. And that is approximately $450,000 a year?
Based on the size of the solar field, originally it was a 7-megawatt system. I think they tried to maximize every square foot of the landfill, making it close to 10 megawatt, which would equate to $450,000 a year in lease.
Okay. All right, thank
Which
you.
isn't a bad use for your landfill.
No, I agree, thank you.
What would it take to get them to step it up?
Oh, they're profit. I'm sure they're motivated to get going.
So it's in their,
Yes, it is.
okay.
Good evening, everybody. Ron Day, D-A-Y, resident of Sparta. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for what you do up there. I know it's a lot of work, and there's a lot going on in this town today. Chief McCarrick, what you just went through with the police academy for the kids, that was just beautiful to see. So thank you for that. Jenny had some pictures posted I thought were just terrific, and makes you proud to be part of Sparta. And Roxanne, I don't want to leave you out. I always do. Thank you for everything you're doing. You're exemplary to what someone could expect for someone working for the town. The reason I'm here tonight, before the budget was passed, the 2025 budget was passed, I had some questions that never really got resolved. And I'm trying to understand that. And the reason I'm trying to understand it is in my head, I'm trying to think, okay, where are we going to end up at the end of 2025? And what's 2026 going to look like? And the two things that concern me the most back then and still do are, number one, the diminishing cash reserves, which seem to be necessary in order for us to have the revenues needed to meet the projected expenditures. The second item that really has my attention is something called unplanned budget revenues. So when I look at those, the concern is I think we need about $31 million in revenues to meet the municipal expenses each year. And if we fall short in the unplanned budget revenues, or and the cash reserves, they seem to be gone. I think we have like $700K left or something like that. So I'm just trying to get a feel for your view, and maybe Jim, this is more directed to you as the town manager. How are we looking for 2025? If you had a forecast, we're going to be there at the end of 2025. We have the expenditures, the revenues that we need, or the things that we maybe need to start looking at to defer until we know we have those revenues in hand.
Well, I wish my CFO was here. That's where I lean on her to help do a lot of this. I don't have huge concerns because I work closely with my financial team, and that is my CFO and our financial consultant, our former CFO, Mike Carino. The financial reserves that you're talking about, yes, they are a concern. That's your surplus.
Right.
All right. You want a surplus of significant size to bail you out of situations that basically are unforeseen. This year, what we've done a lot differently was we boosted up the uncollected taxes rate. And what that's going to do is that will ensure that we'll have a better chance of replenishing our reserves. All right? But you do, there's a lot of assumptions that your collection rate is right. There's a lot that goes into the municipal budget.
If I can, just because, I want to watch
Oh, I'm
your
sorry.
clock.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
forgot the
appreciate
clock.
the feedback. When I look, you mentioned the reserves. When I look at the reserves that were available for the following year, if I look at 2022, it was $6 million, and we used, I think, probably about 4 or 5 of it to meet the expenses. In 2023, there was $2.5 million. We're down to now going into 2025, we've got $700K. Now, when I look at what I believe is the collection rate against that, the number is much, much less than that. And I think we talked about that at the budget meeting, the pre-budget meeting. I think the collection rate is probably, looking again at prior years, there was one really good year. In 2023, we collected about 800, still far short. But every year other than that, we've collected less than 200K. So we're counting our revenues at 3.1 million, knowing that in the past, we've never collected it. So I'd ask that you look at that, and maybe as part of your manager's report, maybe at the next meeting or something, just let us know. From your perspective, as town manager, are we on track to end 2025 successfully? There was some talk, we had things in place to grow the reserves. How are we doing? That would be helpful. I know we always approve the expenditures, but the problem with the expenditures, I think that's always assuming that the revenue is being collected, and it may not be. And if it doesn't, that's just going to kick the problem down the road. So I still remain very concerned and looking to you as the town manager to help alleviate those concerns.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Mike Devine, Oak Parkway. I wanted to mention 2 things that came to my attention about a month or 2 ago that you could all be aware of, and I'm not sure of all the implications of it. I was at a meeting of the Master Plan Subcommittee, and we had a phone conversation with the fellow who's the head of the planning group that, Lindsay Knight, I guess, she works for them. And offhand, we kind of mentioned 2 things that really caught my attention. And the first one was, and I may not get the wording exactly right, he said it's common for other municipalities in New Jersey, if a developer comes in and approval of his or her development significantly impacts level of service in any way, such as an intersection, timing, or whatever, the approval is made contingent upon they need to return a level of service to what it was prior to their development. And if that's common practice, I'm kind of surprised. I never heard of it. If it is something that's doable, it would seem to me we'd want to explore it and incorporate it maybe in an ordinance or something, if in fact it's correct. The other one that surprised me is offhand, he mentioned that in a state budget somewhere, there's something in the order of $12 million dedicated to improvements of Route 15. And that's always been a concern of mine and many other people, where we're going with Route 15, recognizing it's a regional problem, not just a town problem. And he didn't really have any details on what the intent for the money was. And it might be in our interest or not in our interest, but either way, if it's true, it'd be nice to be aware of what it's intended for. And if we can influence or whatever, it might be something worth pursuing. So just bring those 2 things to your attention. The other kind of funny thing is I'm old enough to have been on the council with George Dykstra. I don't know if you know him, Margie, personally. It was, what
Uncle
a character. What a character. Oh, my God. Sometime I'll tell you some stories of George. He was a beauty.
Tell you some too.
Can imagine. I actually was there when we decided to name it after name Dykstra Park. It was
Thank you.
well deserved. He was a beautiful guy.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Mike, for pointing those out. I think on your first issue, whether, sounds part of that is a municipal land use law issue, right? Which is, planning board is within their right and, to attach conditions to approval. So that may be a function of municipal land use law, not one that's required by ordinance, where I understand where you're going, which is, hey, if you're going to, any development that's going to have a significant impairment upon the level of service, then the applicant is required to put it up into a condition. that's probably more of a planning issue, but, that's something that probably definitely should be raised with our planning board when there's an application that people think will affect a level of service. That's something that the public should bring out. As to your second issue, I did, a few meetings ago, I shared about a meeting that I did have with state officials and the Department of Transportation about Route 15. I will let folks know, I think I shared that overpass was not discussed, not part of the planning. That was one that was, gosh, decades ago. You were probably on council when it was, what they are looking at really are signage, also some, maybe expand some of the laneage a little bit, not an overpass, but in a way to improve traffic flow. There's a bridge, I think, in Lafayette or somewhere that they're working on. But as far as expanding Route 15, a lot of it is trying to improve traffic flow. And I think that, they, when talking with the DOT officials, I had pointed out to them that at least along that corridor, Route 15 that goes, by North Village, there's certain intersections that run perpendicular to that were at a level of service of C or below. And that whatever improvements that they need to make, they need to keep that into account. Look, we need to improve the level of service for some of these intersections. And they have particular models that they use, where they can say, if we do this change, this is what we forecast the level of service will improve at. And so that, I said, it would be helpful if you could share that, which is, when you're articulating to the public what changes you want to make to Route 15, how will that change help the flow of traffic? How will it help the level of service in certain areas? And they can do that type of modeling. And I think that's going to drive a lot of it. But I was able to point out to them the issues that we particularly have in Sparta with Route 15. And they're obviously particularly acute this time of year, particularly if you're trying to make a left turn off of Primrose onto Route 15. So again, I think they're aware of it. But as far as the people's concern that somehow their Route 15 was going to be a 4-lane highway or something like that, there doesn't seem to be any appetite for that or any planning for that. At least it didn't come up at the meeting. So I hope that helps a little bit, but stay on top of us about it. And as we learn things about the Route 15 improvements that affect Sparta, we'll be sure to share it.
Seems like you're very much into it, so thank you.
Sure.
Mayor, I'm sorry, the DOT is actually coming in September, date I don't have offhand, but they're meeting again to go over the concerns that were expressed at the last meeting. So I'll let you know that date.
Okay, so if everyone heard that, the chief
Thank
said
you.
that the DOT is coming back to Sussex County in September, and then when they do, mayors from all the affected municipalities and are invited to show up and express their concerns. And so, again, I encourage people, let me know, let the council know what your concerns are at Route 15, and we can be sure to share those and articulate those.
That'll be a public meeting or?
No, these are, I'm not sure.
So from what I gathered from the
Yeah.
individual that reached out to us, this was just a meeting with our police department and anybody else from the township that we wanted to invite. It was just strictly for Sparta for the concerns that we put forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Like our #1 traffic accident area.
And so, yeah, and I think that just to commend Chief McCarrick, I think that, in his annual reports and other things that he's done with respect to has been very helpful, because I was able to allude to that and cite to that in our meetings. And so, I want to thank you for giving, the council the data and information we need so that we can come to them with facts and figures. And I think that it resonates more than just showing up and complaining. So thank you.
Well,
Okay, anyone else with public comment for items that are not on the agenda? Okay, let's pay some bills. We are now at the expenditure portion of the evening. Deputy Mayor Murphy, would you please read the expenditures for July 22nd, 2025?
The expenditures for July 22nd, 2025 are in the amount of $1,114,356.35.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the expenditures for July 22nd, 2025?
I make a motion that we accept the expenditures for July.
And may I have a second,
I'll
please?
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The July 22nd, 2025 expenditures have been approved. Next, Deputy Mayor Murphy, would you please read the expenditures for August 12th, 2025?
The expenditures for August 12th, 2025 are in the amount of $6,974.39.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the expenditures for August 12th, 2025?
I make a motion that we accept and pay the expenditures for August 12th, 2025.
May I have a second, please?
Yes, I will second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the expenditures for August 12th, 2025 have been approved. We do not have an ordinance to be introduced or to have a hearing on it, so that gets us to our second public comment period, and this one is limited to the resolutions, which we do have quite a few tonight. So if you have questions about any of the 20 resolutions that you see before you, please step up to the mic and fire away.
Jenny Derricks, Tap into Sparta. Starting with 9/11. Can you tell me what this is? I'll let you know, I have questions on 9/11, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So starting with 9/11, can you explain what this is?
This is a professional service agreement with Associate Appraisal Group. This is the individual that we employ to go and do added assessments when residents do improvements to their houses, and we do the additional assessments. He will enter the premises, do the proper evaluation, and bring it back to Town Hall, and it gets worked into their tax. And that's what that is, and
Is
we
it
just
typical that we
formalized it.
hire somebody, or is this
It's a professional service agreement, so
that
we
we
hire
usually have?
outside.
We usually do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
our tax assessor department does.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying, we usually have to contract out. We don't have someone in-house that does this.
Correct.
Thank you. So for 913, where is this signal going?
This is the crosswalk at Votech.
Okay. Thank you.
It's an upgrade to the existing device that's there.
Okay. 914. Are we selling or otherwise getting rid of the decommissioned vehicles, or are they staying in the fleet, or how is this working?
Want to take it?
No, we do. It's a fluid, dynamic operation when it comes to PD vehicles, all right? And when we do buy new vehicles, we will rid ourselves out to auction. You would see it when I do a deem for surplus, where we put the vehicles out for auction. It's a constant evaluation between the chief and myself and the fleet department on what vehicles get put out to auction.
And do we take any of the equipment, so does the cost that is noted in this, and also for 915, does that include all of the gear, all of the tech, all of the emblems and all of that? We get the car and they're ready to go on the road?
Yeah, so 915 reflects all the emergency lights, all the things that go in to hold our weapons, everything that would be able to upfit that vehicle and make it roadworthy and safe
And so
for 3 vehicles.
15 is supporting the vehicles being purchased in 13?
Correct. And the
Okay.
ones that we do auction, we recycle whatever equipment we can, such as radios, radar, cameras, so on and so forth, and implement them into the new vehicles.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. And then 916, we're purchasing salt. This just brings me back to the conversation that was used to justify the new salt shed that we have, and that was that there is an expectation or anticipation that other municipalities in the county would want to make use of our large capacity to purchase or store or in other ways broker salt for other municipalities. How is that going? Do we have anybody signed up to do that?
No, well, I don't, and I'll be honest with you, it's because you haven't had hard winters. It's been soft winters. And what's nice about soft winters is the price of salt will go down.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this county co-op here is I look at all the co-ops, Morris County, Sussex County, Somerset County, state contract, and then I look for the best price for the town. And when we see a low number, that's when, if space provided, you invest in the low price of salt and you inventory it, so you don't have to buy it at a higher price. That was one of my selling points on building that shed. This allows us to do that. By entering in the Sussex County Co-op, yes, they have the lowest price right now, but I am always surveying the co-ops for the lowest price of
But
salt.
have we done any outreach to the other municipalities to see if they want to take advantage?
I
know-
haven't,
I
but
think it's
if they
Andover
approach,
building.
I haven't reached out to towns, but, it would be up to the council if they wanted to entertain services for other municipalities. We could.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions regarding
Yeah,
resolution?
just one question, Mayor, about the 9.5, and maybe broader than this specific resolution. I don't know how much of the funding relates to litigation, and I'm not sure what the 3% means. I guess apparently you can allocate 3% of the overall budget towards litigation. Is that what that means?
Not necessarily litigation, but for the appropriation as a whole,
Okay.
all right? I have a statement prepared for that resolution when it comes up.
Sure. Yeah, we're gonna handle that one separately, and so, because I have some questions on it as well, Mike. And I know that Jim has prepared, to fully explain what this resolution is, what it involves. Suffice it to say, it goes beyond professional expenses needed for litigation. There's other
Let me
professional
just make,
expenses.
I'm not sure I can stay, but let me make just one short point if I
Sure.
can.
It will actually be the first one that we'll do, because we're gonna do 9.1 through 9.4 all together, because they're standard ones. We'll take 9.5 will be the first one.
Want me
that
to
we'll do.
wait then?
If it's up to you, I mean, we
I
can
guess my general sense is, and it's no surprise to any of you, that it's kind of a hot point in town. Are we expending a lot on litigation? Are we anticipating a lot more litigation? And along the lines of what Mr. Day said, are we confident that revenues are going to be consistent with expenditures? Are we going to put ourselves in a difficult circumstance at the end of this year, which could then fall into the following years? If people are concerned about the degree of litigation we're going to be dragged into, are you confident that we're in a position to be able to cover it? That's my general question. And I'll be happy to wait for what Jim has to say if you want.
Sure.
Okay?
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ron Day again. I got a question on 9.9, which is the new street sweeper. Kind of tying back to what we were talking about before, is this, are there things that we can defer? It doesn't have to be deferred till next year, but at least defer it till we know we've got the proper revenues we need in place to avoid another problem. So when I look at this street sweeper, I think it was like $450K or something like that. Is that an urgent need that we have to go do that now? Or would it be prudent to maybe say, okay, as the revenues solidify and we know we got that 30 million, approve it then? How urgent is the need for that street sweeper?
So when we establish the budget with the department heads, I sit down with each and every department head and we go through their budget. Then we go through their capital improvement budget. In their capital improvement budget, I ask for a 6-year schedule of equipment that they would need that's eligible for capital improvement funds. All right. I have the benefit of being the Public Works Director for so many years here. I know what's going on the situation of our equipment. This particular sweeper is in need of replacement. It is the one vacuum sweeper we own. It's also utilized to clean out catch basins. It's got the snorkel tube on the back, and that's what we use to do that. Our current sweeper has been problematic. It's had a lot of problems, and I've known about it for a couple of years now. We would usually allocate almost $500,000 a year to the Public Works Department for equipment, all right? The DPW director then would work with me, talk to me, and tell me what he felt was the most important need for the services that he needed to provide the residents. And we put out that plan. This year, it was the sweeper that he felt he needed most. And this is the only piece of equipment that is allocated in the capital improvement plan because, as you know, I did shorten the capital improvement plan this year by almost $900,000. And Parks Department and Public Works took a lesser amount for capital improvement. So they did need this so much that it's the only piece of equipment they're buying this year. The other thing is in order, in getting the quotes for the sweeper, I was told that we would be waiting 15 to 18 months on delivery. So you're waiting already over a year just to get something that you're purchasing now.
So if I can, just again, watching the clock. So from what I heard, it is operational. It has issues, but it is operational.
Yes.
We're still using it. It's going to be an 18-month lead time. So if we were just, again, and I'm not saying not to do it, and I don't really care about the budget last year and what they've had in the past. My concern is, are there going to be enough revenues this year to sustain the expenses that we're bringing forward, the appropriations we're bringing forward? Or if we make all these appropriations, which supposedly the money's there, if the revenues fall, or are we digging a hole? So all I'm suggesting is, should there be a discussion that says we want to defer it till we know we've got the revenues we have, or are there other things that maybe we'll need to defer? Is there a cut line somewhere that says, well, if I don't get 30 million revenues, I get 28 million revenues, but we've appropriated 30, that's a problem. So I'm just saying, have the discussion, make sure this is that important. And then again, how do we get ahead of that problem of having more appropriations than revenues so we don't kick the can to the next year?
I understand, Ron. And the other good point is this was all included in your existing budget. None of this was new bonded debt, which is a plus. So
I'm keeping it real simple. Revenues, expenditures. You can't have more, we shouldn't have more appropriations than revenues. I think you would agree with that.
I agree.
Okay, thanks.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and I think the current budget contemplates that. I think, maybe embedded in an assumption that you may have, or in your question, I kind of infer an assumption that somehow we pass a budget and the expenditures that are on that have no contemplation of the actual revenues that are going to be generated in a year. And my understanding is that's not how we do budgets. That any expenditures that's on there, it's contemplated that we have sufficient revenue to meet those expenditures. And so where you see sort of peel back, the reason why you took a $900,000 hit and drawback on that is just to be extra careful. So that tells me that we are contemplating that the appropriations that you see here have now been, we've assured ourselves that we're going to have sufficient revenue in them, and that we're not just having a rosy picture of, we want, a wish list of expenditures, and then we cross our fingers about whether we're going to get the revenue. Like the expenditures that we have been approving are ones that we are fairly confident and very confident that we'll have sufficient revenues during the year to pay for. But I think your point is well taken. But I know that, this is a particular issue with a lot of, we ran into this with our fire truck, I think, took an inordinate amount of time
took a long time
to get, and part of that has to do with the suppliers for certain municipal products like fire trucks, like street sweepers. Unfortunately, that market has gotten way too consolidated, and the level of service has then gone down. And so you wait a long time. I know with fire trucks, we waited many years to get
close
that.
to 5 years.
Yeah, and and other towns are experiencing the same thing. I know in Los Angeles, they had, a number of fire trucks that they were having to repurpose and reuse, even though they'd had orders for years. These companies have not, as they've consolidated, their level of service has gone down. And a lot of that, our hands are tied in that situation, because we can simply yell at them, get our fire truck, get it done. But, we're not the ones making the truck, so we're kind of at their mercy in that. But again, I appreciate your point, and I think our finance office and Jim has taken a very critical look. I know, in dealing with Jim, he has an eye on the finances and an eye on what we can do and what we can't do. No one wants to cut back their capital expenditures, but I think the ones that we're doing, look at the water main that we're improving in West Shore. Those are the type of things that a township has to do. If they don't do, that's penny wise and pound foolish, right? That, you end up having to pay a lot more if that water main breaks and you have an emergency repair because the costs just go astronomical there. So, again, all right, we'll move directly to the resolutions unless anyone else has some further public comment. So we have a fair number of them. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolutions 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, and 9-4. So can I have a motion to approve resolutions 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, and 9-4?
I'll make a motion to approve resolutions 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, and 9-4.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and we'll do the rest of them because they're not usual ones. We'll do each one of those separately. And so I'll make a motion, there'll be a second, and then the council will bring back to discussion, and then we can go to vote if there are any questions about it. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 9-5, which is a resolution of the Township of Sparta for emergency appropriation, professional services, and litigation under 3% limitation. So a motion to approve Resolution 9-5 as read.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 9-5 as read.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, before we go to vote, just wanted a question from me is, this is entitled both professional services and litigation. And so is this appropriation just for litigation, or is it for other professional services that might be needed for other aspects that don't involve litigation whatsoever?
Yes. The quick answer is yes, but I had prepared a statement because I know that this is a sensitive topic, and it means a lot to me, especially with Ron echoing the concern. All right, and with that, I'm just going to read what I put together here. Tonight, we are presenting an emergency resolution requested by our Finance Department to address a critical funding need within several township departments. Due to an unusually active year, the professional service accounts for the Manager's Office, Clerk's Office, Planning and Zoning Office are running low. These services include legal reviews for municipal transactions such as Oprah requests, ordinance and resolution drafting, support for litigation, engineering services for planning applications, dam renovations, quarry permitting, and planning services related to affordable housing, and Sparta's role in the State Development and Redevelopment Plan, to name a few. Our annual budgets are typically based on prior year usage and anticipated expenses. However, the volume and complexity of work this year have exceeded expectations. To maintain operations and meet our obligations, we are requesting an emergency appropriation of $250,000 for professional services. This appropriation falls within the statutory 3% limitation, and with the total operating appropriations for 2025 set at $948,000, this resolution ensures that the emergency funding will be fully accounted for in the 2025 budget and excluded from caps as permitted by law. We appreciate your understanding and support as we take this necessary step to ensure the continued efficiency and integrity of our municipal operations. So that's my statement. Yes, is the quick answer to what you were asking, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And just so the public understands, I know they see the $250,000, they see the word litigation, and an assumption is made is that $250,000 is solely for matters that are under litigation. I think what you articulated in your response is there's a whole host of things that are not in litigation whatsoever that a township has to engage professionals on. Transactions that we deal with, issues regarding dam improvements, other things that we have professional services that are needed. And so I just want the public to understand this isn't just for matters that are under litigation. This has a whole host of other professional services that are required.
And that also have to do with our affordable housing, the
Yes,
planners, and
I thought we put together a very good affordable housing program with helps of our planner and our other legal counsel. We got our number down. We didn't have a whole lot of contest against it. I thought that went very well. But I have to admit, it was a process that was absorbed in a budget that wasn't really anticipating all that work. So,
Correct. Correct.
Thank you.
Jim, in a previous meeting, we discussed the fact that when some of the expenses, some of the professional expenses, whether it be a planner, whether it be a engineer, some of those expenses are not being directly charged to the developer into the developer's deposit bucket, and that it has been slipping through and that it's been happening, that the town has been literally paying for that. Has that been corrected?
this is the first I heard of it, Mark. I haven't heard of that situation.
Okay, all right, we'll discuss it later. Thanks.
Yeah, please.
Any other questions with 9.5? Okay, all those in favor of 9.5, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 9.5 has passed. Next is, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 9.6, which is an amended resolution to appoint Sparta Township Tax Assessor for an unexpired term and new 4-year term.
Yes, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 9.6 as stated.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, and before we go to vote,
Yes.
just a question I have, we are appointing someone who's already been in this position, at least as a assistant for quite some time, is that right?
Yeah, this is an amendment to a resolution we passed at the last council meeting. We had to make some language change in order to satisfy the state with help of council and advice from the clerk. We're just making the amendment so it satisfies the state for the language of the appointment.
Okay,
And it's always a 4-year term?
Yes. But she's finishing out the previous assessor's term right now,
Okay.
so.
okay, any other questions? All right, we've had a first and a second. All those in favor of Resolution 9.6, say aye.
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 Resolution 9.6 has passed. Next, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 9.7, which is a resolution amending the authorization of a petty cash account for the Township of Sparta for the year 2025. So just,
I make a motion, we pass 9-7.
may I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Any questions regarding 9.7?
It's just a change of custodians who have the authorization to basically monitor the petty cash accounts. We usually carry a balance in those departments of $250. It's usually a max of $50 that an employee, rather than processing a requisition, they can pay their own money out and we'll reimburse them, $50 or less through the petty cash fund.
Okay.
Got you, and I noticed that it does, the resolution does require that the custodians have to maintain records for this fund in a manner conducive to proper accounting and auditing
Yes,
procedures.
there's always a receipt on everything.
Okay,
Okay.
got you. Okay, all those,
Just changing the names, department heads change,
Yeah.
et cetera. Right, okay.
all right, all those in favor of approving Resolution 9.7, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 9.7 has been approved. Next up is Resolution 9.8. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 9.8, which is a resolution of the Township of Sparta authorizing the mayor and township clerk to sign the agreement for animal pound shelter services with the Borough of Hapatcong.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 9.8 as stated.
Second.
And again, Jim, this is a interservices agreement that we've entered into in previous years with
Yes.
Hapatcong.
We share their shelter.
They provide shelter services for our animals that we
Yeah.
collect,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, just wanted to make sure that this has been something we've done in previous years. All those in favor of Resolution 9.8, say aye.
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 All right, Resolution 9.8 has been approved. Next up is Resolution 9.9, resolution of the Township of Sparta to purchase a 2025 Elgin Whirlwind Series MV Street Sweeper utilizing the National Sourcewell Cooperative Contract. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 99?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 99.
I will second.
Thank you. And I think we did have a little explanation about the necessity of the street sweeper. My understanding that this was an item that our DPW said that they were in need of, and given the substantial lead time that it takes to actually get a street sweeper, it was thought prudent to purchase it now or get authorization to purchase it now. Whereas if you wait, you could be delaying it even more. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay.
But it's still, the one we have is still able to clean out the catch basins?
Yes, we keep it going, we limp it along. But the sooner I can change this out, the more money we'll get in return when we auction it off too. And that money goes back into general surplus and we can cycle it back. So there is
We
a
pay half
method to
down?
it.
Yeah, so how does this work? It's at 465,000, I believe, $500,000. So we take that $500,000, it's already in our budget, it's already in the tax revenues. And so then we take, what, 10%, and we put that down as a deposit, and then the rest of the 4.5, 400,
Actually, the township, what it does is it issues a purchase order.
Okay.
Which is guaranteed payment to the vendor who's selling us
all right,
in full.
okay,
We do not pay in full until we actually receive the product as it was described.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay. And so that money is really sitting in Sparta's coffers.
Yes.
Earning interest.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much, but yes,
Right, okay.
How much interest or,
right,
okay, but it is,
yes.
okay.
Any other questions with respect to 99? Okay. All those in favor of Resolution 99, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 99 has passed. Next up, we have Resolution 910, a resolution of the Township of Sparta authorizing a contract with N4's Police Systems Incorporated to provide annual CAD RMS system maintenance pursuant to local public contracts law, NJSA 40A:11, required disclosure contract. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 910?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 910 as stated.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, just a question I have is very simple. What is this and why
Can
do
you
we need
explain
it?
it?
So as an attorney, you
Please.
could appreciate this. Everything that you get for discovery, not everything, all the reports from police is through the system. This system starts with our dispatch. You call police, they enter information into this CAD system, this software system. It says Route 15, disabled motor vehicle, timestamps everything, who is dispatched, so on and so forth. And then the officer comes back and updates the report. With all the traffic studies and all the things that we did with the analytics, all that data is pulled from this system. This system that we've had for since I've been here in 2005. I think there was a point we went to a county system and didn't work out, and we came back to this. So everything that we have in there is accounted for. All the reports, and there's a multitude of different reports in there. This is like part of the brain of the operations of what we have with our police department reporting system.
So it's a renewal of the one that we've been using for several years.
Correct, and I believe it's
Okay.
actually $1,000 less than it was last year.
Wow,
So
that's awesome.
we also, this is used by our partners who we dispatch for the police, fire, and EMS in all those jurisdictions. So they're using it too.
Okay. Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the maintenance for this also include like updates that they may have to the system, like software updates or how? does
Yeah,
that-
there's constant software updates. It's all
Okay.
cloud-based system now, which they changed the past couple of years, which is incorporated into that. Mandatory reporting uploads through our NJTR1, which is the crash reports to the state, is all done through the system.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions with respect to 910? Okay, all those in favor of Resolution 910, say aye.
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 Resolution 910 has passed. We're now up to Resolution 911. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 911, Resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Sparta authorizing the award of a required disclosure professional service agreement with Associated Appraisal Group Incorporated, August 12th, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. So I just need a motion to approve Resolution 911.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 911 as read.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, just one question I had. Again, this isn't contemplating a reassessment for the entire Township of Sparta.
Not at all. This is the result of me installing a QPA, a qualified purchasing agent, all right? And she's a stickler to doing everything per the book. And doing resolutions on professional service agreements is part of that regulation that is good that we're doing. So I hate to say it, but you're going to see a lot of resolutions coming out of this council because whenever we expend the residents' money, especially when it's significant value, or we assign contracts, we need to formalize it through resolution. And we formalize it through discussion, and the public gets to see this. So this is actually just a simple, basic service for 6 months where we're going to employ an individual who's going to work on behalf of the assessor's office to look at all the improvements that residents do to their houses through the construction department. And when you get an added assessment, it'll be evaluated by this individual. All right? And it's as simple as that. It's that contract. Your assessment will change if you did an improvement. And it applies, so.
On your
In
taxes.
a point, yes, it is. It will affect your assessment, so,
But not for an overall, that usually comes from
No,
the
just
county to begin with.
right,
applications
right.
and improvements.
And who, I understand, if you look at the resolution, looks like a fee schedule.
Exactly.
That's the fee schedule that the Associated Appraisal Group will assess to whom? Us or to the person
That's
making?
the fee that we pay them for the assessment, so.
Okay.
If you look, and let's say someone did a deck improvement, you're gonna pay him $50 to assess that deck improvement.
And do we try to build in, so the family that wants to improve their deck, they get permission from the township, do we try to build into our cost, the cost that the appraiser is going to charge us? How do we, or we just eat the cost?
I think it's part of the process. I'll have to look exactly how the fees are worked out like that. If these are, this is the service agreement that they work with when they propose their services to us and we agree to these fees. How I get them, well, we do have a permit fee, and is it worked into the permit fee? I believe is
Yeah,
what you're
that's
asking
what I'm
me.
trying to, is there a way we can
Right.
recoup some of these expenditures?
I'd have to see exactly how the permit fee is broken down. I would work through my construction department on that.
Okay.
I would believe, though, that once it starts costing us a significant amount of money, we would be coming to you guys to do a fee increase.
Okay. Oh, good. You'll let us know?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor of Resolution 911, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 911 has passed. Next up, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 912, which is a resolution authorizing the sale of solar renewable certificates, SRECs, no longer needed for public use on an online auction website. So I may have a motion to approve Resolution 912.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 912 as read.
May I have a second? please?
Second.
All right, now's
And-
probably a good time to explain to us, which you have before, but maybe, what are SRECs?
Well, solar renewable energy credits
Okay,
that the township earns because it owns its solar panels on Town Hall, Public Works Department, and the Germany Flats field array that they have. All right, we run those facilities, and as they generate energy, they also generate SRECs credits that we use. Every year, we'll budget that we're anticipating an SREC value on that, and it floats around 100,000, 120,000. So we are due for our sale this year on roughly 800 and something credits, I think it said in there. And we do that in public auction. where we sell the credit, the credits on market. And we generate revenue through owning the solar panels, as well as generate the electricity and use the electricity that they bring into the buildings on site.
Okay, and
So-
do we know how many SRECs we're selling at this
I
time?
thought it was 800. I got to go through all these.
So 681, that refers to, so the first whereas clause says, whereas Township of Sparta has determined that property described below as, so the property, they mean the SRECs, there's 681 of those?
Right.
Okay,
And so then we'll be cashing those out.
okay, got you. And that's via an auction, so we don't know what the price will be, because it's whatever the auction price is times the number of units.
When we do it, I will report it.
Okay.
So you know.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Uh,
Any other questions with respect to 912?
Is that the field on Limecrest Road?
No. Wish it was. That's a beautiful big
I
solar
know.
array. This is, Germany Flats is right off of Park Road there by Aaron Way.
Yes,
Off of
yes.
White Lake Road in there.
Yes,
If you visit the water facility, you'll see a field ray. It's a
right,
small
that one.
Right.
Okay,
And that feeds the big water pumps that Germany Flats pumps out. So
oh,
we
okay.
use the electricity on those.
Oh, great, okay, thank you.
Any other questions with respect to 912? Okay,
So is there a I'm sorry, is
Go
there a state auctioneer or how do we pick the auction company?
We've used this site, it is kind of government regulated site, because we don't get charged a whole lot of fees to go and put the auction on there. And as our IT director had recently retired, this is who he had used with good success. So I didn't see a whole reason to change a lot. Finance also supported using the same exchange, because one of the things is we're not charged a fee to sell our SRECs, so that's a big plus.
all right, thank you.
Councilman, it was also advertised, and the auction is going to be on August 20th.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Roxanne.
so bid the price up as high as you can. All right, any other questions on 912?
No?
Okay, all those in favor of Resolution 912, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 912 is passed. Next up, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 913, entitled Resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Signal Control Products, LLC, for rectangular rapid flashing beacon solar-powered crosswalk signage as part of the New Jersey State contract, hashtag 24-food-71858, for a total amount not to exceed $18,447.10. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 913?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 913 as read.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay.
I have
go
a
ahead.
question. This, the flashing light, does this have any no, audio, or is it simply a flashing?
It does, so.
Do you know?
So these, with Votech, if you know the area, White Lake Road and Votech, it's a very heavily trafficked area off of State Highway Route 94. Obviously during the school year, the students use both sides of the roadway for classrooms, so there's a lot of traffic going back and forth between them. In discussion with the school and some of the needs that they had for some of the students, we evaluated and spoke about upgrading these signage. So these signage will kind of almost be like what they are right now. They will have a audio and visual portion of it. There will always be like a slow chirp to it. They are solar powered. And then there will also be two signs up to, excuse me, I believe it's 100 feet from the actual crosswalk on both right side of the roadway that will also have a visual portion to it. When that button is pressed, those lights will also go off on those warning signs.
Okay. All right, great.
All right?
I travel that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a busy area.
It's very busy, and to where cars are even all the way on 94 waiting for
Absolutely.
But is there any kind of time limit on that, or strictly every time they press the button?
There is not a time limit, but there's a set time that it will be flashing for. Once that goes out, I'm not sure if there's, a higher audio notification that it's going to stop. But if so, you could simply press the button again. It does also have the ability for people with disabilities who may have a visual disability to have an app on their phone, Bluetooth to the device, so they could actually press the button when in the area from their phone rather than the actual device.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I want to commend you, Chief McCarrick and Township Manager Zepp. I recall this was a concern of our Sussex Tech community. They had raised it with us about this, and I think the turnaround was rather quick on getting this authorized and approved. So thank you for that. And I think that, we have to listen to, particularly the safety in that area is paramount, right? I mean, we have students there. It's a very busy area.
Very.
But I think that, it allowed us to be responsive to our Sussex Tech community and listen to the concerns and act on it. So thank you.
Yep, absolutely.
I have another question. Did the school contribute any?
So we have
Funds?
been in contact with representatives from the county who do support the project. We haven't heard back as far as if they are going to reimburse the township for any of the costs, but it looks like a possibility.
Good, thank you.
Not a promise, but a possibility.
Thank you. And if you need someone to show up at a county commissioner and ask them to kick in, I'm sure one of the five of us will be
Very happy to do
that.
so.
Okay, so thank you. Any other questions with respect to 913? All right, all those in favor of Resolution 913, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 913 has passed. Next up, we have, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 914, entitled Resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Gentili Chevrolet LLC for 3 new 2026 Chevy Tahoes as part of the New Jersey State Contract Number T2776-21-01485 for a total amount not to exceed $166,683.15. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 914?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 914 as read.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, just one question is, why do we need new Tahoes, and are we getting a good price?
So it is a state contract price.
Okay,
And I believe with these Tahoes, when we ordered the three, they gave us a $1,500 discount on each one. It was actually hard to find. We dealt with this dealer in the past where we purchased our other Tahoes from. It seems like nobody else has any kind of police vehicles, and that's kind of the case, like you're saying, for the fire truck. Police vehicles, 6 months, a year, they're out. And so we were lucky enough to get these. Why do we need 3 police vehicles? I think you all know Sparta's a pretty big town. A lot of people don't understand how big it is. There are certain areas of Sparta where people don't even know that it's still Sparta. So our officers run 24/7. The vehicles that they use, an average patrolman on the road for a 12-hour shift drives anywhere between 100 and 200 miles per shift. So it's between 200 and 400 miles per day. Your wear and tear on vehicle, as the miles get up there, it's obviously a safety concern for our officers. You want us to help you, we have to make sure and ensure that our officers are able to get there in a safe manner with a safe vehicle. We, in the past, have gotten 3 vehicles per year, and we want to continue to do that. Once we rotate the fleet, as Manager Zepp had said, we'll auction off vehicles still and get a good price for them. Last year, in November, we auctioned off 4 vehicles. So we're replacing and rotating our fleet in a safe manner for our officers.
How many miles do we get on the vehicles before we auction them off?
Depends on the vehicle, depends on the wear and tear, depends if they've been involved in any crashes themselves, anything like that. You know, it
Average.
varies. It varies, you know, it could be 200,000, it could be some less. We have repurposed the police department vehicles to other departments in the township, such as the zoning department, the construction department, DPW. You know, so sometimes they're good enough to strip down and get a few more years use that they're not driving as many miles per day as, you know, our officers would be.
So 200, that's pretty good.
But there is a lot of miles that go on, like I said, between 100 and 200 per 12-hour shift.
Yeah, it
You
is.
think of Route 15, it's about an 8-mile stretch in our township. So you go up and down Route 15 twice, that's 16 miles.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And all these vehicles, all township vehicles are serviced within the town?
Yes,
they are.
Okay.
And the warranty that comes with the tiles has been very good. We had some things that needed to go back for warranty. We took it to McGuire Chevrolet, and they treat us like gold over there and get us back up and running as soon as possible.
Great.
Thanks.
Keep it in town.
Yeah, it's always dangerous for me to start doing math, but I did just as you were talking. So each shift is 200 miles. There's 2 shifts in a day. That's 400 miles a day times 7 days a week. That's 2,800 times 52 weeks in a year. You're looking at 145,600 miles on one vehicle in 1 year. If I get 145,000 miles out of my vehicle, I'm actually pretty thrilled about it. But
And there are times that the vehicles have, you know, downtime where, you know, one of the officers on the patrol is out, you know, on leave, and it's not getting used. But a lot of times they're just continuously getting used.
yeah,
And so that's it. And,
Yeah.
you know, we
Okay.
are responding to emergencies.
yeah, I see why now we
Top
buy
fit.
3 a year.
Yeah, top shape all the time. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, all those in favor of Resolution 914, say aye.
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 Resolution 914 has passed. Next up is Resolution 915. May I have a motion to approve Resolution 915, which is a resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Municipal Equipment Enterprises, LLC, for upfit equipment for new police vehicle as part of the New Jersey State Contract Number #17-Fleet-00758 for a total amount not to exceed $79,718.04. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 915?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 915 as read.
Second.
Okay. And you alluded to this, Chief McCarrick, and I think earlier, this is to get the Tahoes so that we can actually use them as police vehicles.
Correct. So this is the upfitting, which is done through a company that's also under state contract. This is all your lights, your sirens, any cameras, radios, computers, you know, the install radars, radar units, weapons mounts, cargo storage, and, you know, transport safety dividers, as we call, you know, to transport people who either under arrest or we're giving a ride to. So this is for the 3 vehicles. We do obviously try to recycle as much equipment as possible, such as the radars, you know, computers, cameras, with the help of either our DPW who helps install some things. If they can't install, they will be installed by this company.
Okay.
And are there certain standards that we look to that say, you know, hey, if you're going to take a regular Chevy Tahoe and upfit it for a law enforcement vehicle, certain things that it has to have?
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, the emergency lights to a certain extent. You know, we have adjusted some things over the past couple of years to save some cost on that. And also sirens, radios, you're going to need all that stuff. All the antennas, the wiring, there's a large amount of wiring that goes into this. It's you know, all these vehicles are very computer oriented now. And so there's a lot that goes into it. And this company has done work for us before and has done a great job.
And so all the upfitting has a particular law enforcement purpose behind
Correct.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
got you. Okay, that's all.
I just have one question.
Sure.
Can I drive one?
You can
We'll
take a
talk
ride
about
in one.
We'll give you a ride. That's what those transport safety dividers are for.
Oh, come on.
All right, any other questions with respect to 9:15? Okay, all those in favor of Resolution 9:15, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 9:15 has passed. Next is Resolution 9:16, which is entitled Resolution of the Township of Sparta authorizing the use of the Sussex County Cooperative Purchasing Agreement for the purchase of bulk rock salt. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 9:16?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 916 as read.
And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay, just one question I had is, this isn't an actual resolution to purchase a specified amount
Correct.
of, it's simply, if we do purchase it, the price that we're entitled to is this $79.84 a ton?
It's to maintain our membership in the Sussex County Cooperative that would
Okay.
allow us to purchase rock salt at that price.
Got you. And if, 4 months from now, we have to buy rock salt, there will be a separate resolution identifying the amount that we're buying?
Yes.
Okay, got you. So
And
this,
you'll also see it in the bills list. You'll see it.
okay, and got you. And this is simply to lock in the price that we want?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Any other questions with respect to 9:16?
Yes, we discussed this earlier, and you mentioned, how are we going to market, and are we going to market ourselves? Because when this shed was passed at a large number, it was said that we were going to become a broker, as it may be, in terms of salt. So and we discussed this earlier, are we going to, can we make part of this resolution that we make an effort to contact every town in Sussex County and make them aware that we're brokers, or that we're selling it, or that we have inventory?
I don't see how the township benefits in any of this, other than we can be a good neighbor, and if a township needs help with salt, they call us, like we would any other town if we were in a similar position. By having the capacity that we have, we're in that position to do that. All right. There was, I recall, you may not recall, but there were years when there was a real shortage of salt. And some towns were sending their trucks down to the ports to pick it up, or they didn't have the salt at all because it wasn't available. And a lot of, towns scrambled. You recall when the state was hoarding all the salt and the towns couldn't get it. We're insulating us from that, being in that position. And then we could also help our neighbors if they want to reach out to us. But I don't see any reason to reach out to them and offer services to them. They have their own abilities to get their salt. It just comes down to the ability to get the quantities if you have a really hard winter, all right, and the storage. As you remember, we used to lease space out at the Randazzo plant in the county, all right? That public works guy, he hated us because he always had to leave some salt there for us because we had this agreement. It was very difficult for them to continue to do that. So I was very pleased to get the support of the council, and we were able to build the facility. I urge you to go up there and look at it because it also houses our chemical tank in there, and we have space in there. And we have a lot of investment in there. I also use it as a lean-to on side. We store a lot of equipment on the side of it. We really maximize the use of it.
Oh, I've seen it.
However,
It's huge.
with
Yeah.
going out to towns, I don't see the benefit for it.
Well, I mean, to make them aware that if they do need, if
Believe me,
this is larger,
They're-
they know.
They're aware. They're aware.
All right, the only reason to bring this up, because I was sitting in the audience when that discussion took place, and the pitch was, well, we're building this massive shed and spending all this money so that we can broker salt, which
I wasn't there, but okay. I'll
That was
take
the
you.
pitch.
Yeah, I'm happy to tell you how I think the town will be served best with it right now.
okay.
And am I right that the salt shed also serves, and hopefully it doesn't ever have to happen, but as an emergency?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Could you
would be-
expound on that a little bit?
So it could, for purposes of an emergency storm shelter, most likely would be employees out there, and I'm not sure of the size of the walls, concrete walls.
They're 14 feet high, solid concrete, reinforced with rebar, right? They're very strong, they're very high. It serves as a very good storm shelter should it be needed. And it's been pointed out that way, and it's included in our hazardous mitigation plan.
Okay. Yeah, so I knew it had other utility beyond the ones that you've described, that was one of them. Okay, any other questions with respect to 916? All those in favor of Resolution 916, say aye.
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 Resolution 916 has passed. Next up, Resolution 917, resolution for the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Dan Swayze and Son for roadway line striping for the project known as Proposed Improvements to Main Street as part of the Morris County Contract Number 36 for a total amount not to exceed $11,545.20. And so we have a motion to approve Resolution 917.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 917 as read.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Okay. My question is, where are these proposed improvements to Main Street going to occur?
Right up front.
Okay,
Well, how much of out front?
Well, from the corner of Glen Road to the post office.
Okay.
And this was a DOT grant project. All right, so we are getting not full funding, but we're getting some partial help from the DOT. I believe it's $150,000 towards it. And we have to document everything we do for this project in order to be eligible to receive our reimbursement from the state. This particular resolution is regarding the line striping out there. You're going to see another resolution here regarding the concrete curb work and sidewalk work. And then we're using Morris County Co-op for the actual paving. So this is an excellent project that will really benefit the residents, and we're getting financial help from the state on this. And this resolution helps to formalize it all.
Streetscapes is different than state
Yes.
funding, right?
Yes, this is different grant, that is.
and so, I'm all right, so almost 17, 18, and 19 are a package involving the improvements to Main Street. And so when you said $150,000 grant, that's part of what will offset the cost for 17, 18, and 19?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Got it.
And I had stated earlier in my weekly report, I was really pleased to see that when we went out to bid, we got 6 bids on, well, it was on the concrete work. So it was competitively bidded out. And whenever you get that, the town benefits because it's a competitive bid. And we did. We got excellent pricing. And these are well-known, good contractors. I've worked with them in the past. So I was really pleased with the award, and I think this project will come out real well.
Okay. So you heard that, we had a competitive bid for concrete in New Jersey.
Yes.
Which is, hasn't always been the case in the
Lot of
history of New
TV there,
Jersey.
Mayor.
Sorry, that's my antitrust background speaking right now. But anyway, thank you for that. Anyone else with questions with respect to 917?
Is this including the paving blocks out front?
That's a separate bid. That's not this one. though.
Okay.
That's coming up.
Okay.
Okay, any further questions with respect to 917? All those in favor of Resolution 917, say aye.
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 Resolution 917 has passed. Next up, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 918, which is entitled Resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Tilcon New York Incorporated for milling and paving to be part of the project known as Proposed Improvements to Main Street as part of the Morris County Contract Number 6 for a total amount not to exceed $116,000, $646.50. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 918?
I make a motion to approve 9-18.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Yeah, I don't have any questions with Grass.
I don't either.
Do you, Councilman Scott?
So the $116,000, that comes from the intersection down here.
Mhm.
How far?
Glen Road. So there's not a lot because the bridge work was just done and they just did a whole bunch of paving under the bridge. So there's not a whole lot there.
So we got a
That's just the-
discount
just-
for that?
This is just the milling to take off the top coat to repave it.
And pave it.
Right, and pave it.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
That's the milling paving. And this is off the Morris County Co-op, so we didn't have to bid that part out. That's a good number.
Yeah, I think, you know, and I remember looking, I think New Jersey, I think the average cost to redo a road, to repave it for a mile was like $2 million in New Jersey. If you want to do an entire mile and do everything that you have to do with that, it's close to 2 million. So obviously not a mile, but the fact that it's, I know,
Prevailing wage drives a lot of that.
you know, yes. Okay, any further questions with respect to 918?
Nope.
All right, all those in favor of Resolution 918, say aye.
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 All right, Resolution 918 is passed. Next up, we have Resolution 919, which is a resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Cedar Contracting Incorporated for the project known as Proposed Improvements to Main Street Curb and Sidewalks Bid Award CN number 25-03 for a total amount not to exceed $98,473.93.
I make a motion that we approve 9-19.
May I have a second,
I'll
please?
second.
Any questions with respect to 919? Okay, all those in favor of Resolution 919, say aye.
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 Resolution 919 is passed. Next up, we have Resolution 920, which is a resolution of the Township of Sparta to award a contract to Tony's Concrete Construction Company Incorporated for the project known as Municipal Building Sidewalk Patio and Stair Improvements, bid award CN number 25-04 for a total amount not to exceed $86,010. So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 920?
I make a motion we approve 9-20.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Okay, so this is for directly outside the municipal building?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. It's to renovate the plaza. You have trip hazards out there. We're proposing to make it all one level, so you don't have the trip hazards. Clean it all up, make it aesthetically pleasing. Some new vegetation, concrete work. We'll repoint the bluestone steps as you come up. It's due for maintenance. And I never liked the trip hazard. You see, we've got warning signs out there, and you just cringe with foul weather and potential slip and falls. You really don't want that. So this one also garnered 6 bids as well. So we did well with that. And I wanted to give a shout out to my QPA and my engineer who orchestrated the bid work on this. I was very, very pleased again that the process really worked in our favor.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
And so the brick is going to be removed, or the brick is going to be
The paver stones that you see.
paver
Yeah.
stones? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'll see them. And then the 2 lower levels, they're gonna be raised up. You're gonna have one level plaza out there. The stairway will be extended. I'll put a new railing there. And then the border, some of the broken blocks. I mean, honestly, you could go crazy out there, but I wanted to keep it focused to just the plaza.
You could hold events out there now, like
I
the
was
Earth
just
Day
gonna
thing, right?
Well, we already hold events out there.
No, I know, but I mean, it would be,
Any more impervious coverage, like the cement will be further?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
If anything, I'll be shortening it.
But like Earth Day or something like that, you could hold like we did that one time.
If
Like
you
that-
approve it.
And will access to the municipal building via the front be, will people still be able to access it while the improvements are going on, or we don't know yet?
We don't know yet, but that will be a concern that'll get addressed. And I believe because we have the ADA walkway that has an access, that may become the alternative.
Okay, thank you. All right, all those in favor of Resolution 920, say aye.
Aye.
Resolution 920 has passed, and we have gotten through all 20 resolutions at this time. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for the explanation, Chief McCarrick and Mr. Zeb, and thank you,
Thank
everyone,
you.
for their questions. Okay, we are now up to the council liaison updates, and I'll start to my far left with Councilman Scott. Any liaison updates?
The planning board met just once this past month, and we didn't have any applications at the meeting, but we did get some items done. And I'm going to be making a motion later that applies to that. The zoning board, of which I'm not on the liaison, but I know there's a lot of action tomorrow night at the zoning board. We have the trucking terminal or truck tire facility acting apart, as well as several other big zoning issues. The business development did not meet this month because of the summer. But we are working on bringing in some members of the public, or let's call it developers, to speak to us to figure out how we can help them navigate the planning and zoning departments here in the town. That's it for me.
Okay.
Councilman Murphy.
I have, let me see, the Rev 250 has not met since last time. And the Environmental Committee is meeting on Thursday, and we have a resolution that has been given to everybody to discuss about the Superfund. So we will be looking at that, correct, in the future? In September, I believe, the beginning of September. And the Senior Advisory Committee will resume again on September, beginning of September, so we've not met. And the Lake Mohawk LMCC meeting is still what Manager Zepp has given us information on with the current West Shore Trail. Redoing, it's going to be fabulous once that gets done. They're redoing the wall as well, and the gatehouse will also be redone hopefully in unison with the wall and once the pipe gets put through underneath the road. That is, and I guess the West Shore Bridge has been delayed until September. And I haven't heard anything new on that. So that is all I have to address. Because of summer, once we get back into the swing of things in September.
Thank you for the update. First on Revolution 250, we do have an appointment that I will get to during unfinished business for Kathleen Riley. So we've also gotten interest from a company that does banners for Rev 250 for free, and they've reached out to us that we've been selected as one of the townships that they would offer sort of these free banners, a featured community in New Jersey for this initiative. So
Really?
yes, and I've sent that email to members of the Rev 250 committee, and then they'll join us for a phone call in the next week or so with this person to get the details. So that is good, and then again we will be cranking up once the summer is ended because it's fast approaching, and I know we've done a lot of work to identify the things that we want to do. Next step is really the execution phase on some of these, getting the logistics down. And again, we do encourage people to attend the meetings. You don't even have to join the committee to attend. You can attend. We'll take ideas and we'll notify the public when our meetings occur. So that is Rev 250. With respect to the Sparta Film Committee, I'm happy to report that we got our very first application for a film permit, and that has been, and it went through. I want to really thank our members of that committee who did the legwork and vetting for it, and so they were able to, run down, when it was going to be, what resources were needed. They interfaced with Mr. Zepp, they interfaced with our police department, and were able to get it so that the gentleman can film, I think it's August 15th through 20th, through various sites. And I appreciate, I want to say thank you to our chairperson, Frank Dolce, and another, Justin Karpowicz, who really did a lot of the legwork behind trying to find that out. So again, they are volunteers who are doing this, so, none of our members of township got taken away from other work to have to vet this. And so by the time the application came in, it was pretty well vetted, and we were able to give that approval. And so we hope that that will just be the start of additional ones. Like I said, we do have a production that was already filmed last summer. It's in post-production right now, and hopefully they'll be released. We'll have like a public release to it sometime this fall that will invite members of the community, and you'll be able to see a short film that was done exclusively in Sparta, primarily by Sparta residents and other members in Sussex County. Next is, I did have a meeting with our Board of Ed last week. Primarily, it was discussed about what they were doing with respect to the referendum, and we are competing tonight with, I think, they had their first Zoom meeting about the referendum was tonight. I think there's going to be other ones. Again, this township, council doesn't have really any say whatsoever in the referendum. We can just bring it to your attention. I know that they have a website, I think it's sparta.org/vote, where folks can find out about what the referendum entails, and there's some functionality to it. I think that you can actually use it to determine, okay, based on the assessed value of my house, what is my expected tax increase that may cause. So there's some things that people can get their questions answered with that. But again, the questions with respect to that referendum, what's it for, those are better directed to the Board of Ed and not to us. So that was primarily what our meeting. I did present to them information about, and this will blend into my Trails Committee meeting, about the trail from the middle school to the high school. We have what that trail would look like, where it would intersect, and they don't foresee really any issues with it. I mean, we're now at the point where we have to start doing the execution on some of that, and we're not there yet, but I know that, one issue is, because the trail will intersect with the school, obviously you have to be mindful of, people walking around the school during business hours, things like that. But they're already dealing with that now with Station Park. But in any event, we are, with respect to the Trails Committee, we're putting a lot of the focus right now on that particular trail because that seems the most needed one, and it's one that we can execute on. I think, as I mentioned before, there's various constituencies that own part of the land, including the New Jersey Land Trust, but we have had preliminary discussions with them about what part of their property that they own that we want. And like you went through with the landfill, obviously you have to exchange. If we want property of theirs, they want property of ours, usually on like a 5-to-1 ratio. So it would be property that we are used probably back there in like swampland, basically. So it's not really developable property that we'd ever have any utility for. But again, we're working that out, and once we get closer, we will meet with township officials, including Mr. Zebb, probably Corey Stoner, but we're just not there yet. But I hope to get there this fall and that we can start working on it. I know that we've had I know this is a particular project of Mr. Nicholson, who's been a big supporter of trails for years. And so my promise to him was by his 98th birthday, maybe we can break ground on this thing.
It's
Uh,
90, no,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, he's 97
And a
now,
half.
so, I thank him for his attention to it and interest in it. So that's the Trails Committee. I did have the opportunity, and I have been participating in the county's opioid recovery fund meetings, and so is Chief McCarrick. And we had our meeting on July 30th. And there we went over, a lot of the programs that are available, how townships are using the money. It breaks up into a lot of different buckets, and I really, I want to applaud Chief McCarrick for really being on top of this, and, explaining to me how some of the funds are being used. I mean, for us, it's not just prevention, it's not just outreach. There's other things that we do with that money, including what they call harm reduction. Narcan is a form of harm reduction. It saves lives. And so we've spent money on that. And I'm also pleased to think that there's going to be a survey that the county is going to put out probably in September, October, asking folks, ideas about how they would like to see the money spent. And there's, an issue that I had raised at one of the meetings was, well, can we figure out what the recovery community wants? And that, what services do they need? Because we have to remember that, we need to keep people who are in recovery staying in recovery. And there's certain issues like respect to transportation. We don't have a robust transportation system in Sussex County. That's a function of, where we live. But resources can be available to improve transportation, that people in recovery, so they can get to meetings, they can get to their outpatient programs. That can have a huge impact on whether a person stays sober or not. And so there's, and that's something that's been discussed. But I think there's a lot of well-intentioned, hardworking folks on that. And I just want to, again, thank Chief McCarrick for explaining to me, and that leads to my next, not really a council liaison update, but today I was able to participate. I was asked to join a podcast called Connor with Honor. He's out of LA, and Dr. Sarah Levy. And I met them at the mayor's conference, and they do a lot of the training with municipalities and law enforcement about how to handle situations involving folks under opioid use disorder. And so I got to talk to them, and really it ended up mainly being singing the praises of what we do here in Sparta and in the county to de-escalate situations, how we have a real cooperative relationship with the Center for Prevention and Counseling, how we treat this in holistically, looking at this isn't just a we're trying to just impose criminal sanctions on someone. We don't even do that. And we try to work with them and get them the resources that they need. And this is an approach that has really, is really at the forefront of how you deal with this crisis. And I know that Sparta should be really proud of how they're doing it, because they're really at the vanguard of this, and they're following the best practices. And so, thank you, Chief McCarrick, and all your, for all the training that you guys do, and all the help that you're rendering to people who suffer from this malady. So thanks again. Sure. And again, but look for, when that survey comes out, I'll announce it, and I hope folks, particularly in our recovery community, will fill that out, because that will help determine what programs they can direct the resources to. And with that, I think that is all my council liaison updates. I will say I did go to, like I said, the benefit of being married to the president of the New Jersey Psychological Association is I get to sometimes go to her conferences. I went to their national conference in Denver, and there were certain topics that were, I thought, important. One that I attended was by about the polarization that we have in America, both politically, and it was put on by a lot of subject matter experts, particularly one that sort of struck out to me was the Professor Tom Coleman from Columbia, who's dealing with, all the crises that they've had at Columbia the past year or so, and strategies that, folks and not just psychologists, but anyone in a public-facing position like we are, how to stop and help mediate some of the polarization that exists. And there's also a program called Braver Angels, and this is a project that tries to get people from disparate positions to sit down and try to work on collaboration and try to figure out ways to end the attacking that we see, but to work on cooperative solutions. So that's another, got to hear the president of that. So there was a lot of helpful information that I got. So I just thought I would share that. And with that, just know that there will be for the referendum is September, for the school board is September 16th, 2025. And mail-in ballots were sent out yesterday. Is that right, Roxanne?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Got you. And with that, ends my council
you-
liaison updates.
Can you, what is that website again? Or the, to learn information
I
about?
found it on sparta.org/vote.
No, no,
We have it on our website, on the homepage.
Yeah.
no, the information that you were saying that, about the school board.
Yeah, there's a link
That's it.
on our township website, or in the homepage we had put up there, a link that'll take you to the Board of Ed, so you can find all that information that you need.
Oh, okay, okay. And who decides when they have the voting in September instead of it being in November? To have they do?
I believe Board of Ed did.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, next are up to unfinished and new business. I will, as I alluded to, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Kathleen Riley to the Revolutionary 250 Committee. I think she's actually here tonight.
Oh.
So thank you very much for sitting through this, and thank you. My understanding, you have a history background, is that right?
Have some family that's been here since the Revolution, but no, I don't have I'm
Okay.
very interested in history and American history and stuff. That's why I wanted to be a part of this because
Fantastic.
very exciting.
Well, thank you very much,
you.
and we look forward to, we're going to put you on the email, so you'll get notices of the meetings, and, thank you so much for contributing, and look forward to your participation. I know Margie does too.
I
Very
hope I
much.
can help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So may I have a motion to appoint Kathleen Riley to the Revolutionary 250 Committee? I make a motion, may I have a second?
I make a motion to appoint Kathleen Riley to the Revolution 250 Committee.
May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Welcome, and thank you.
Welcome.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
And I don't have any unfinished or new business other
Okay.
than that.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Beth Broderick and Adrian Meerman to the zoning board. They've put in applications. They're very interested long-term residents, and they're very active in the community. And I think that they would be tremendous assets to the zoning board. Second?
I'll second that. We have two positions open.
Yeah, I think that, listen, I think Beth and Adrian are fantastic. I've had interactions with both of them. I do know that we are down a committee, a member of council who will be back September 9th. And so I would prefer that we do this, and so Dean has an opportunity to vote on this. Making appointments without the other council present, to me, I think we owe him some degree of deference and some degree of respect so that he can have an opportunity to vote on it. So my preference would be that we revisit this motion on September 9th with an opportunity for Councilman Blumetti to weigh in.
Have we had any other, we have 2 positions open, correct?
Correct.
And we have a lot of,
A lot of stuff tomorrow night, lot going on. I make a motion to nominate Beth Broderick and Adrian Meerman to the zoning board.
I second. I think Dean would agree. I don't know
Well,
for
I think,
sure.
I think not giving him the opportunity to do that and doing it while he's absent is frankly poor form. Nothing against Beth and Adrian, but I think, appointing people to our respective boards is a, very big function of what we do. And to do this while he's not here, I think is just, it's probably not appropriate. And I think out of deference to him and out of respect for the position, I think that we should table this to September 9th.
All right, I'd like to amend my motion. I'd like to nominate Michael Dorado to the Environmental Commission, Beth Broderick to the Zoning Board, and Adrian Meerman to the Zoning Board.
I will second it.
So I'm just not understanding the necessity to do this right now. I haven't heard from the zoning board chairman that they are unable to process applications due to the vacancies on there. So I'm trying to understand why we need to do this right now at this moment when we have a council person who's not even here.
Well, we have a big meeting coming up Thursday night with the Environmental Commission, and a meeting ahead of time for the, about the master plan. And we have one person that is not going to be there. So I just think with everything coming up on the zoning board, I think we need people to be there. I think we need the vote. I think we need to have continuation, get things moving.
Councilman Scott, I'd just make a suggestion that you break up the motion per the individual members, so it's clear on if there is a vote, who is voting for whom.
Okay. I nominate Beth Broderick to the Zoning Board.
I will second it. I think we need to get these things going.
Okay, I mean, we can take it to vote. I will say again, that without having a council person present to appoint someone, without information from our actual zoning chairman who says we're unable to function unless you appoint someone immediately, which I haven't heard. I think that it's premature, and I don't think we should do it, but, you have a first and a second, we can go to vote.
Have
so.
you heard anything from the zoning chair?
I have not.
Let's have a roll call vote.
Councilman Scott,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mayor Clark,
No, for the reasons that I explained, nothing personal against the applicants, just out of deference to our council member so he can have an opportunity.
Congratulations, Beth.
Congratulations. Welcome.
I'd like to make a motion that Adrian Meerman be appointed to the Zoning Board.
I second it.
Councilman Scott,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mayor Clark,
No.
I'd like to make a motion that Nicholas Dorado be nominated to the Environmental Commission.
I second it.
Councilman Scott,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
No.
You need majority rules to be able to have it accepted. There's only 3 of you,
It's a majority.
and even with Dean not being here.
Yeah, we have a quorum and a majority of a quorum.
Congratulations to Adrian and Nicholas. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
service. Thank you, Beth. I'd like to make a motion that we reintroduce the vote to let the planning board update the ordinance design standards. Recently, that was brought up several meetings ago, and the planning board does need to work on the ordinances because we have a bit of confusion with the existing ordinances. For example, recently, a company came and appeared before the planning board, three times, or a subcommittee of the planning board 3 times, and just still could not understand clearly the regulations that we have regards to signage. So I would just ask that I'd like to make a motion that we, have a vote, that we allow the planning board to update the ordinance design standards.
Would that be prior to the master plan, just to get it so that it's more understandable, that we can use it now?
Well, it has a lot to do with the fact that we just want to make it clearer and easier for companies and new companies coming to town to get through the planning process, whether it be the planning department or the planning board. The existing ordinances need some work, and that's all we're asking to do.
Councilman Scott, if can I ask a question? What are the design standards in the ordinance that you would charge the planning board to review?
All and any which need to be addressed,
Okay, so design standards with respect to,
whether it be signage, whether it be the exteriors of buildings, whether it be the interior of buildings.
so the planning board will undertake a comprehensive review of the entire township code to review any and all design standards? Is that the charge?
Yeah, that's a rather general, I'm not going to be that specific, but I'm going to say that I'd like to introduce an ordinance for the planning board to update the ordinance design standards as they see fit.
Okay, so it's a recommendation under the council's powers charging, you're asking for a recommendation to update the ordinances for any and all design standards?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We would have to reduce that to a memorandum to the planning board, so just trying to understand the scope of the request.
Excuse me?
The council has to, under the MLUL, if it makes a recommendation to the planning board, it has to clearly delineate what the request is. So I just want to understand, it seems that if there's going to be clarification from the planning board, I guess they can ask. I'm just trying to understand the municipal code has many, many references to design standards. And just wondering if we fully understand what the charge to the planning board is. And I understand the planning board had a memorandum to the council, and maybe that's what we're relying upon.
I'd like to go back to my original motion, make the planning board update the ordinance design standards.
Okay.
I'm not going to participate in this railroading and to try to take advantage of an absent council member. So I'll be leaving.
And you're going to just end the meeting? No, there's no quorum now?
That we're not
Zoom later,
finished.
but I'm not going to
Okay.
participate.
I'd like to make a
finished.
motion
I'd like to make a motion to approve Molly Wilesmith for town council seat until the November election to help us all get prepared for the next one. May I have
second.
Okay. Well,
roll call?
with all due respect, we don't have a quorum. So this meeting should be adjourned under the Open Public Meetings Act. There's no quorum of this. There's no lawful meeting.
We haven't opened to the public.
We don't have, this meeting is not being held pursuant to
Okay,
OPMA. We can't open it to the
we
public.
can't.
Need a motion to
So this meeting is,
I'll,
well, there's no motion. This meeting is adjourned.
adjourn.
It's
By-
adjourned.
This meeting is adjourned by operational law. Thank you. Have a good night.